coaster chicken. Probably going to give it a walk at some point. Just go with it. So, question number one. What is the ride that changed everything for you? The moment that you realised fear doesn't have to win?
You know, it was one of the things. I started this whole thing because the now wife upstairs, she loved roller coasters. I had a bad traumatic experience when I was a kid with Nemesis. Wouldn't touch them. You know what I mean? We'd go to Alton Towers, the local, and I would do Curse. I might do the Runaway Mine Train. That was the thing. And I started doing stuff because she wanted to. We got married in Disney, and she said the day after the marriage, we'll get divorced if you don't do Tower of Terror. She was so convinced I loved Tower of Terror. Can I honestly say I don't know why, because I hated every second of it. I cried when we got off it, but couldn't get divorced the day after. So, but like I worked my way up, did little bits and pieces. I think the one coaster where it all changed, that switch as such did flip. Believe it or not, it was Galactica. Terrified, got in that thing. When it flips you on your back, wow, mental. I was terrified. I thought, oh, I'm going to die. But it was so chill. You go around that track and it's such a chill ride. And actually, that was nothing. What am I worried about? And that was the one I'd worked myself up so much because, yeah, it's got the inversions. I think it was one of the. I hadn't done many with inversions up to that point. That was terrifying. But the restraints are so unique and different that I thought, no, I can't do this. I'm going to die doing this. I'm going to die. And the fact that I rode it and then got off and thought, you know, that's the most chill roller coaster I've ever done. At that point, everyone after that was so much easier. You know what I mean? I walked on Smiler a couple of weeks later. I did Nemesis not too much longer before it closed, because obviously I wanted to get it done before it became reborn again. And obviously, believe me, it took me a bit longer. I was terrified. But yeah, I think Galactica really flipped that switch, and now I'm just going to parks going, wow, this is going to be easy, or is this going to be worse than Galactica? Is it going to be easier? So yeah, I think Galactica is the one.
It's very interesting. You mentioned Tower of Terror. So for me, I love, you know, I had no issues with rides in terms of roller coasters, but Terror, whatever it is, my leg shakes as we're like, you know, going up, and my missus is like, oh, this is really fun. And I'm there sweating profusely. I just hate it.
Well, drop towers, that was it. I hated drop towers, and I've got like, we did the Peter Rabbit one in CBeebies. I've never been so embarrassed in my life, screaming, terrified of it. And I thought, yeah, well, that's the one ride type. Even now, as a brave person, I'm still freaking it about. But we went to California last year with the Guardians of the Galaxy version of Tower of Terror. And I don't know if it was the IP, because I'm a massive Marvel nerd, but I loved it. I know it's a bit different. Instead of like a pull you down, it pulls you up. So it's a slightly different sensation, but I thought, I'm going to try more drop towers. And we went to Fantasia Land in January for the Winter Realm, and I managed to brave Mystery Castle there, their drop tower. Incredible, really good as well. But I'm going to try and do more drop towers this year, because maybe I'm better than that now.
What is the most intimidating looking coaster that you've ever faced?
It's a tough one, isn't it? In my head, I go, Hyperia was the big, like, I hadn't done a hyper coaster up to that point. And obviously waited 6.5 hours, so on opening day, so it was I'm going to have to do it. There's no way I can chicken out of this one after 6.5 hours. But throughout that queue, I was like, braved it. It's still one of them that gets me every so often. Every time I'm in the queue, I go, it's big that. But then we went to Florida last year, and I'd gone from kind of the guy that wouldn't ride anything to I already do everything. Apart from Iron Gwazi did make me terrified. I was in the queue for it. I was like, yeah, this is more than Hyperia. It's not quite as tall as Hyperia, but yeah, different beast altogether. Whew, the hypers are the ones that, because you look up, don't you? You no matter where you are, you go, I can see that. Like, horrible.
If you had to design a step-by-step fear ladder, what would the first 3 rides be for someone starting with zero confidence?
It's really tough, isn't it? Because like what I struggled with before we started going abroad to parks is that the problem with a lot of the UK coasters is they are, if they're not for thrill seekers, they are really baby. So I'd probably say Pultons Park is probably a really good starting point. So their coasters don't feel like, oh, you're going and you are a child waiting for a child's ride. So probably start with something like their Velociraptor, the Boomerang, and then obviously kind of try the other coaster in the Dino area, see how you get on with that. And then Storm Chaser is the one I think you do that, you go, yeah, you're probably ready you've conquered all the kids coasters. Let's get you on. But it's tough. It's tough in the UK because apart from Bucks Park, all the family coasters do feel very much targeted at kids. Like even the new ones, you got a Bluey coaster that for someone over the age of 10, you're kind of out of that already. The same with Paw Patrol at Chessington. It's a real struggle. Abroad, you have got like family themes, but they're more kind of inclusive to everyone. You know, Kung Fu Panda, for example, at Gardaland, and you stuff like that. You don't feel like you're a kid. You know, I've put touch into specific IPs. They just age really. It's like Gangster Grand, like that area was pretty cool at the time, and that IP aged like sour milk, and now it's like, oh, everyone wants it gone and nobody likes it. Like, oh. And now they have to spend loads of money at some point getting rid of it all. The Bluey bubble will burst at some point, and it'll be irrelevant to so many people. And
Is there a type of coaster that's surprisingly easier for nervous riders than it looks?
it is launch coasters. I'll say this up front. This sounds like I'm contradicting myself straight away, but like something like Rita or Stealth still gets me every time. It's still now one of those I come off. Oh, that was adrenaline. That was intense. But they're over so quick. You know what I mean? And even the ones where you've got quite a duration, like something like Gold Rushing at kind of Drayton and stuff. Yeah, it's a launch coaster, but the rest of the layout is so easy to get through. You're not like, you know, there's not many where you're launching and then you're going into like 20,000 inversions and you're like, no, I can't deal with it, I can't deal with it. So I think the launch coasters are probably your best bet because they are so over and done within seconds. Yeah, it'll throw your adrenaline and you'll definitely go, oh, you've conquered something. You'll know you've done something kind of worth achieving, but it isn't long. You know what I mean? You haven't got time for you to start panicking once you're on it. Once you're in and the seats are down, it's going to be over within, you know what I mean, 30, 40, 50 seconds. Easy.
And yet you say that, but Stealth is one of the hardest sells for people when they go to Thorpe Park. It's like, come on, we'll go on a quick hop of that. It's like Hyperia, fine. Stealth is everyone's like, oh, I don't know.
It's got time to panic. Well, Hyperia, that lift hills. I know it's quite quick, but yeah, that's about 20 seconds. And you go, oh my god, that's the panic, isn't it?
That makes me nervous. I've probably ridden it, not into the extreme amounts, but probably 30 or 40 times. And even the last couple of times, still sat on my stomach going, oh, shit.
Put the right ride there, didn't you, for sure, 100%.
Definitely. What is one ride that you'd use to convert a total coaster phobe?
Disney and Universal are the perfect parks because of the IPs and like you can get through things with that love of that IP. I mean, I did like not Rock and Roller Coaster, but the Iron Man version at Disneyland Paris with that quite early on, even though I didn't like inversions and stuff and hadn't really done anything, just because it was Iron Man animatronic and all the kind of stuff like that. Oh yeah, I've got to do this. And you know what I mean? The Disney rides and the Universal rides are so well done that you kind of get through the fear by going, oh, I've got this feature to look at, I've got this. Like half the time you're in the queue and that's where that's the make and break. You know what I mean? You're in the queue looking at this thing. Am I going to be too scared to ride? Probably not. So don't you give up. You don't really get that at Universal or Disney because the queues keep you interested with stuff. Yeah, we did Monsters Unchained in Epic Universe a few months ago, and I've got to be honest. After I'd done it, we'd done it fast track. We were only there for a day, so it was like get everything done. But I was kind of disappointed because you miss all the kind of queue. It was so immersive. You're going through this castle with these animatronics and stuff. It was so good. So that's a good starting point. Efteling's really good for their dark ride. So if I had to choose one specific ride, I'd probably say Dance Macabre in Efteling. It's so well themed. The story's everything. But it is quite intense. You would not expect how intense that ride is because I'd seen POVs a few weeks before we went and go in and then, wow, this is seriously moving in ways I didn't expect. But you're always like, wow, and apparently the show changes up every few cycles, so it's definitely worth getting re-ride to see it all different.
What is the most emotional reaction you've witnessed after someone conquered a ride that they were scared of?
It's really nice. Like I've seen a few people like conquer some stuff, and I guess the perfect is last year we went to Drayton Manor with Crafts and Creds. If you've seen their stuff. Andy's and he's like really, really bad. He's really like quite early on his journey, kind of conquering rides, and he'd done Wicker Man, but he was ready. He was going to try Gold Rush. And I just remember we'd just come off it. We'd literally just come off it. We'd seen him in the queue, and I could see his face. Like I'd seen that look. I'd had that look so many times. I thought he's not getting on this. There's no way he's getting on this. And like I don't know if the ops were really bad because he looked like he was only 3 or 4 trainers behind us. So he was standing there with his wife and his kids waiting. Kept seeing it go past. Kept seeing it go past, and it's not on it. It's not on it. It's not come out yet. So this is a bit odd. What's going on? What's going on? And just seeing him go round and seeing how happy his family were, and it was beautiful. It was really heartwarming. It's like, it's nice to because I know that feeling. I know kind of getting off something, surrounded by the group of your friends and people who've helped you overcome it, and kind of how amazing that feels. So it was really lovely to be part of that moment. And the adrenaline that you get when you come off something that you've never done before because you're absolutely terrified is on another level. It's amazing. And I think the problem is now I keep chasing that, and every time I do a ride now, I compare it to that feeling. Oh, no, not quite the same now. Yeah, I mean, every time I go up the towers, and I've done coasters that I've done now like 100 times, and I come off it. Yeah, that was it.
Does Coaster Chicken change how you personally experience rides now, and do you still feel fear?
It's one of those things. Sometimes I feel a bit of fraud nowadays because you call yourself Coaster Chicken, and for a few years there was more years of the journey where I was terrified of everything. If somebody's tuning in for the first time and going, you go, this is just a normal bloke. This is, it's his problem. I was called Coach. It was to talk about being terrified, but I've been there. I've been that position where you're in the queue, you're looking up, and you're like, no, can't do that. But when we started this, I've got to be honest, I probably would have stopped it quite early, but we made like some friends who helped me conquer rides, and I guess that's one of my big tips is find that supportive group of people, and they're all content creators. Some of them still going. Some of them were still really good friends who kind of surged us on, helped me overcome so much.
If someone is standing in the queue right now, watching this episode and panicking, what would you say to them?
Just do it. Just get in that seat, just see what you like, and then just let someone force out the straight down. You won't regret it, honestly. The sad thing is it's so hard. I've been in that position so many times. Being in that queue right now and you're terrified, most likely you're going to talk yourself out of it. If you let yourself think it, you will talk yourself out of it. It's so easy. The thing is, roller coaster fears and ride fears in a whole are irrational. They're completely irrational. And what you need to do is you need to flip that switch, as hard as it may be. And sometimes it's put yourself through it. Just let someone just get in the seat. Don't agree beforehand. Whoever you're with, make sure you're with supportive people, but have them just push you in the seat, and that's it. And once you're in, you're in. It'll change life, honestly. Like I'd be terrified of everything in life. I'd never, up until Brave and Roller Coaster, I wouldn't go on an aeroplane either. Airplanes I was terrified of. There were so many things I wouldn't do. Confidence I didn't really have. Podcasts like this wouldn't have done. Never have had the confidence to do something like this, and everything's boosted because I conquered it. So just get in that seat. Tell yourself, you're just checking to see what it's like, and then while you're there, just have your friend push it down. And once you've done one, if you don't like it, you know what? You don't have to do it again, ever again. There's plenty of rides I've come off and gone, no. Like Toxicated, we went to the Alton Towers content creator event for it. I had to ride it because I was doing a POV and it was like the big thing about the programme. That day I would have rode it the second time I hadn't rode down, but I've never rode it since because in the end I went, no, it's not for me. That's not a ride I like. So, you've got nothing to worry about. You're either going to come off and your adrenaline's going to buzz and you go, I want to do that again and again and again. Or you're going to come off and say, that's not for me. But that's fine. You can do it. Nothing's bad's going to happen to you. These roller coasters are so safe. It's a freak instant 1 in 1 billion times that something goes wrong. And there's usually human error somewhere. And then very rarely, so much computers overriding everything now. Don't even worry about safety. But yeah, just get in it, get on it, change life.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I would have also accepted peer pressure and sorry.
That's why I'm called Coaster Chicken, because growing up with Alton Towers, literally 15 minutes down the road, school trips were an easy win that they go, they'll take the kids to Alton Towers. Growing up as teenagers, what do you do on your kind of days off? Back when it was quite cheap, we'd go Alton Towers, and it was always kind of that, you know what I mean, the call now, oh, chicken, girlfriend's like wanting you to go on something you wouldn't even go on, like. And it was really embarrassing looking back on it, but you know what I mean? I wish I'd conquered this fear a lot earlier. I wish I'd had the supportive group. But that's the thing, it's whoever you're with and having someone that's supportive, and that's the beauty. Like the wife, yeah, she forced me on Terra, but up until that, she'd been really good and she'd worked me through. We'd go up the towers and she'd have a really rubbish day because she'd want to do the coasters and we'd just lap Jewel or we'd lap the Rapids or whatever because I wasn't ready. And you know what I mean? Like we went the first year we ever went to Portaventura. In the end, I was going, oh, I'm going to be big, I'm going to be brave. Highest I went to was Stampeder, but she was wanting me to get on Furious Baco. And in the end, I was like, yeah, I can do it. Got to the front, get out. She came off it, and I said, "Is it doable? Is it doable?" Instead of lying to me, and go, "Yeah, you'll be fine." She went, "That you're not ready for that yet." And yeah, I've done it now, and I'm like, "Yeah, definitely." I definitely wouldn't have been ready then. That would put me off. I nearly had a brain hemorrhage from that. Whew.
And are you always a hands up, hands down kind of guy? I can't touch the restraints. I see people sneezing and like rubbing the nose, and then like, I'm like, no, that's it. Just
depends on the ride. Every time the ride's for the first time, like sometimes being able to hold the restraint is the do or die. So, like I said, I've done Toxcator. I knew I wasn't a massive fan, but I've never braved Talakan at Santageland. I'm going to be honest, I still haven't because there isn't really like handles on it to hold on to or anything. I need to hold on to something. That's where I wish Toxcator had something to hold on to. So it was a big nope. So I always like to have something that can grip hold on for the first time. It just for some reason, I don't know why, because you know what I mean, you know safer holding on to something than not. And you get a much better feeling when you do finally let go. But yeah, first time it's a hold on for dear life. And then once you've done a few, yeah, hands in the air, and as long as you're not hitting someone else in the face, or you're POVing, because if you're doing a POV, your hands have got to be kind of like cemented to your side. You know what, arms flapping in here.
2026, big year. What do your plans look like for this year? Where are you going?
A bit of a weird year for me, because obviously, like, there is a lot of stuff in the UK that I'd say it's one way or the other, and like for me, Invictus is a no-go. I'm not brave enough for something like that. Yeah, I've not done Maelstrom in Drayton. The one ride in that whole park I've never done. And I can't see that changing anytime soon. That's the one ride I think at Blackpool I've never touched. You know, I've done everything else now. Even that god awful Red Arrow was one that was an experience. But yeah, that's a no for me. So we'll go to opening day, and be in the park and be chilling about. But no, we won't do Invictus. The wife's not interested in it either. She doesn't like stuff like that. And then, like I say, like the Bluey Day, I'm not bothered about Bluey. Or the Paw Patrol one. It's a shit. Like Pulton's, I'll be there. The opening day for Pulton. I can't wait for that. The big one for us, we're going to Vegas. So we're obviously going to do Halloween Horror Nights in Florida again. But we're going to do we're doing a crazy one this year. We're doing a weekend. So we're just going for the weekend, flying Friday night, landing, doing Saturday and Sunday, flying back Monday. So I don't know how that's going to go. We hit it hard last year. We went opening weekend. We landed and then literally did all night, and it got to about 3 a.m. and we crashed so hard. The next day, we probably caused ourselves a proper aggo because we said we'd do a normal park day the next day. We weren't until about 12. And the rest of the day we were moping around Universal with no energy for this. But it's an experience, and nothing like Halloween Horror Nights anywhere. But yeah, we're going to Vegas. The idea there's loads of stuff to do there. There's Universal Halloween Unleashed, their permanent Horror Nights thing. There's a coaster on top of a hotel, which is going to be incredible. The Strat, there's like a flat ride where you literally kind of pushed to the very end of the top of a skyscraper, thousands of feet in the air. Yeah, it looks terrifying. So I look forward to that one.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been great. Thank you for coming on the show.